You know, there's a presidential race going on. If anybody tells you they know what's happening out in America, just turn off the dial because nobody has ever seen anything like this. You know, it's crazy on both sides of the aisle. Whether it's Bernie Sanders, who I was elected with in 1990, he got elected on the Socialist Party ticket in Vermont. It wasn't the Democrat Socialist Party ticket, it was the Socialist Party ticket. And I served with Bernie for 25 years. Nice guy, know him well. But he was for every crazy idea that you've ever thought of. I mean, when you say left, you don't know how far left really is until you spent some time with Bernie. And so the fact that Bernie Sanders is getting all this traction against Hillary Clinton is actually shocking. You remember in 2008, she was going to be crowned as the Democrat nominee. And all of a sudden, some no-name U.S. senator from Illinois named Barack Obama jumped up and beat her. And it was almost about to happen again. Bernie Sanders has a message. You may not agree with the message, but Bernie Sanders has a message to millennials, to really left-leaning Democrats that they appreciate. Hillary's message is, I've been around a long time, I'm a woman, vote for me. And, you know, she's going to get by with it, but when you look at the polling, people don't think she's trustworthy. People think that she's hiding things, especially when it comes to these email issues that are going on. There is an investigation underway. And while I think she's still likely to be the Democrat nominee, at least up to the convention, you should remember that Joe Biden is waiting in the wings. In 1972, when the Democrats nominated McGovern as their presidential candidate, the party elders went crazy. You know, they took a big drubbing in that election, and so they changed their process. And they started to create these superdelegates in the Democrat Party, most of whom were signed up with Hillary. And it was a way for them to control the outcome of the nominating process. And so while Hillary may win these primaries, if her other problems begin to mount, they certainly don't want Bernie Sanders to be their nominee. And so I would not be at all surprised if her problems continue to mount, that when they get to the convention, old Joe Biden comes rolling in. Now, Joe really doesn't want to do this, but if they're going to hand it to him on a platter, I'm sure he'll take it. On the Republican side, it's huge. Listen, Donald Trump is a friend of mine. We play golf together. We used to be texting buddies. He used to call me all the time. Thankfully, I haven't heard from him for 8 months. But President of the United States, really? But listen, he's led virtually every poll for the last 8 months. There's no reason to believe that he's not going to be the nominee. A few minutes ago, Mitt Romney was giving a speech in Utah and ripping Trump apart. Now, I would describe Romney's actions and some of the other establishment types, I guess now part of the establishment, I would just describe this as too little, too late. Donald Trump is a phenomenon. And what he brings to the political process is something that we haven't seen in a political process since 1980 when Ronald Reagan showed up. And that is this star quality. You know, politicians, while they may be well known, if they're not TV stars or actors, that's a whole different classification of stardom. And he's brought a lot of enthusiasm to the party. When you look at the primaries that are going on around the country, a Republican turnout in these primaries is 2 or 3 times what it used to be. And when you look at the Democrat primaries, they're down about a third of what the turnout would normally be. And so at this point, Donald Trump's getting about 35% of the vote. The other 3 or 4 candidates are getting the rest. And as long as there are 3 or 4 other candidates out there, nobody's going to beat Trump. And so it looks like Ben Carson's likely to get out of the race tomorrow. And so that leaves Cruz, Rubio, and Kasich. Now, John Kasich and I have been friends for 30 years. He's not going to win this election. You know how you have friends that are easy to get along with, fun to be around. Then you have other friends that require some effort on your part. John Kasich requires more effort on my part than all my other friends put together. But he's a great guy. He's done a great job as governor of Ohio, and he is my friend. But I don't think that he's going to win this, but there's no reason for him to get out until the Ohio primary. And then you've got Marco Rubio, a great U.S. Senator from Florida. I've known him for 20 years, state rep, Speaker of the House in Florida. I worked very closely with Governor Jeb Bush at the time. It's kind of a shame to see how Jeb and Marco have had a little falling out, if you will. But Marco had a little steam of momentum until he kind of stepped on himself. And then you've got this guy from Texas, Cruz. Now, I actually think he's Lucifer in the flesh. Now, I'm sure he's got some supporters here in this room, but let me tell you what, I've never seen a guy pick more fights that he couldn't win. He's a narcissist. He's a martyr. Nobody's ever going to accuse me of not being frank with people, all right? But it is a crazy political environment. And even if you've got a general election race coming up, where you've got Hillary Clinton and you've got almost Donald Trump, don't believe that Donald Trump can't win. Because we've seen unbelievable things in this election cycle, and my prediction is we're going to continue to see surprises between now and November.